Today, we're kicking it off with Nvidia. The stock has been on a tear this year, riding the AI wave like no other company. But how high can Nvidia go? Here with the details is our very own Allie Garfinkle. Allie, tell me you have an answer. How high can it go?
I sort of have an answer here, Akiko, because Nvidia has climbed so substantially, right? 225% up year to date. It's a $1 trillion company, but there is this central question, which is how long can it keep growing like this? And the answer is that it can't. The train is going to have to slow down, and there are a lot of experts that I've been talking to saying that most of the growth that we could see out of Nvidia is already priced into the stock. So there are two things here I would say we need to consider when thinking about Nvidia long term. The first is competition. There will be more competition for Nvidia eventually, and we could even be closer to that than we thought. We're especially going to start seeing it when it comes to cheaper alternatives to what Nvidia is offering. We're starting to see alternatives like that come out of AMD a little bit. The other thing to consider is customers designing their own chips. That is going to be a certain kind of competition for Nvidia. Consider Apple, which already does this. Amazon also has its own burgeoning business through AWS designing its own chips. So competition is going to start emerging from all sides. Now, the other thing to consider, and this isn't something that's talked about really consistently, but Nvidia fundamentally is a cyclical business, right? This is a business that has been able to capitalize on trends over and over again. Remember, they were also in a lot of ways a company very much tied to crypto. It was actually the company's GPUs that were most consistently used in crypto mining, for example. I think they're also really susceptible to the vicissitudes of the AI hype cycle itself. Customers are, flying in, purchasing these chips at huge rates, and they are expecting to see some returns. If those returns don't really translate into new business, for example, those expectations could fundamentally also falter.
Allie, do you think the hype is warranted given the fact that it has such a large lead amongst when you compare it to some of its competitors, or is maybe some of that hype, overhyped at this point?
It's hard to say, Shauna, but there's something really interesting, and it's going to sound like I'm splitting hairs here, but it's an important distinction. We might be expecting too much from Nvidia over time, but no one I spoke to would say it was overhyped. And the reality is this. Here's why. When it comes to AI processing, they are really still the only bar in town. They are offering a really full ecosystem for all kinds of enterprises. And one of the key ones is going to be the public cloud. They offer a full stack for the public cloud that just doesn't exist anywhere else. Competition also might be coming down the pike here, but it is far from mature. So it's going to take a moment for supply and demand to really come into balance. But I think it's worth saying the Nvidia hype does have its bearings in real technology. That said, they do have a problem here, right? Nvidia has a problem. What do you do for an encore, right? They came in with this incredible earnings cycle. My experts are saying the next 2 to 3 quarters could also be pretty good, maybe not quite as good. But don't expect this raucous party to last forever because there is simply no way. What goes up must come down.
And no question, their competitors are looking at that, eyeing a piece of that market share as well. Allie Garfinkle, thanks so much for that.